Man, I just get back from vacation this week, and before I can settle in, I come to realize school just started. Prescott and Bradshaw Mountain, they had their first day of classes on Thursday, and the athletes at Yavapai College and Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University, they're reporting to campus. So now I'm just trying to wrap my head around the fact that fall sports is here. And I really got to get out of this summer brain mode. It's like, well, I'm starting to. And in fact, yesterday I was up at Embry-Riddle interviewing some of the players from the men's soccer team. So that really let it sink in that, yep, it's time to get back to covering school sports in earnest. In fact, next Saturday, Embry-Riddle's soccer and volleyball teams, they have scrimmages. Yavapai College men's soccer, they also have a scrimmage next Friday. Tryouts for our local high school teams are going to be getting going this coming week. So, yeah, fall sports is here, and with it comes some changes. Now, Yavapai College, they will no longer be playing the Division II schools in the Valley. So that would be schools like Phoenix, Mesa, Glendale, Scottsdale. Man, no more games with the Fighting Artichokes. I call shenanigans. That's a very serious charge. You can't just go around accusing people of shenanigans. Man, I love that line from South Park. Anyway, what happened was there was some restructuring, some reorganizing with the ACCAC, where now the Division I schools, like Yavapai and Arizona Western, Eastern Arizona, and so on, they will only be facing each other during the regular season, but there will also be some new schools in the mix there. You'll see Yavapai face Mojave Community College. They're just getting their athletic program started. College of Southern Nevada is joining them. Also, Community Christian from Redlands, California. So we'll see how that works out. And, of course, you have Embry-Riddle, who are officially done as members of the CalPAC Conference and have entered their first season as members of the Great Southwest Athletic Conference, or the GSAC. And I'm just wondering how many times I'm going to say CalPAC accidentally instead of GSAC when I'm talking about Embry-Riddle sports. Then, of course, the eyes of the world this week have been on Paris with the Olympics, and what an absolute bleep show that has become. We had that stupid opening ceremony that got millions of people up in arms, especially a lot of Christians who didn't like seeing their religion mocked, and the response by some has been, oh, that had nothing to do with the Last Supper. That was the feast of the Greek god Dionysus. So all you Christians, just shut up. Like, sorry, but when you look at the way those people were positioned, it does resemble the Last Supper. And I think one of the women from the show Chicks on the Right made a really great point when she said, both can be true. It can both be the Feast of Dionysus and a mocking of the Last Supper. And that's just the tip of the iceberg with the Olympics, because you had the controversy this week in women's boxing, people saying you had a biological male beating up a woman. The triathlon had to be delayed because the Seine River was deemed too polluted to swim in. Then a couple of days later, the Olympic organizers went, it's fine now. Except some of the athletes interviewed after the event say the river was still filthy and they're still worried about getting sick. And I've seen stories saying the Olympic Village has had no air conditioning and only vegan menus are available there because, well, who cares if the athletes get overheated and don't get their proper nutrition? We have to stop climate change. So, way to go, France. Way to go, IOC. You've completely ruined the Olympics. And then again, par for the course in current year because idiots and people with political agendas have just ruined so many things that we've enjoyed and held so dear. The Olympics, Major League Baseball, the NFL, the NBA, Star Wars, Star Trek, Doctor Who, just history in general, national identity, the family unit. Basically, we just can't have nice things anymore. And I don't know how many people have tuned out of the Olympics because of all this, and I'll tell you what, it is a real shame because there are so many athletes there who are having outstanding performances. Swimmer Katie Ledecky picked up her 13th Olympic medal, making her the most decorated female Olympian in U.S. history. You have a former ASU swimmer, Leon Marchand, who won, I think, 3 gold medals in the Olympics. Oh, then there's one of my favorites, the pistol shooter from Turkey, who looks like some guy you'd hang out in a bar with. He won a silver medal. You have American gymnast Suni Lee. She won a bronze medal, and this after she was suffering from a career-threatening kidney ailment earlier this year. And also, I got to mention this, she used the outstanding Lindsey Sterling song, Eye of the Untold Her, for her routine. By the way, I got my ticket to see Lindsey Sterling in Phoenix in September. Excited about that. But all of that is getting overshadowed by all the dumb stuff that's been happening at the Paris Games. So a pox on the organizers, a pox on the IOC for ruining the 2024 Summer Olympics. Can you just concentrate on sports? Is that so bloody hard? Anyway, you don't have to worry about our local athletes being overshadowed here on the Tri-City Sports Roundup by all kinds of political garbage, because we're just going to talk about their athletic accomplishments, especially those of 10 very talented young men. Yes, today we finish our summer top 10 list with the top 10 local male athletes of the year. Once again, had a lot of great candidates to choose from, and a bummer that I had to leave some of them off the final list. But, boy, do we have a strong 10 here. So let's not waste any more time. Let's get going. Number 10. He proved to be one of the most difficult guys in the conference to shut down on the court. He sent a barrage of balls toward the basket over the course of the season, resulting in him averaging 24 points per game, the third best average in the Grand Canyon region. He also made his presence felt in other aspects of the game, grabbing 149 rebounds while recording 69 steals, 65 assists, and 29 blocks. All that production resulted in him winding up on the All-4A Conference first team and the All-Grand Canyon Region first team. When basketball ended, he headed out to the diamond, hitting .321 for the baseball team with 8 RBIs and 14 runs scored, which earned him an all-region honorable mention. He's done with high school, but he's not done with basketball, as he will be playing for Pima College. Congratulations to the Huntsman, Mason Hunt, of the Bradshaw Mountain basketball and baseball teams, the Tri-City Sports Roundup, number 10 local male athlete of the year. Next, it's number 9. Here's another guy who had a great season on the hardwood. He averaged 16.4 points per game, the 6th best average in the Grand Canyon region. His size also made him a dominant force around the basket, as he grabbed 281 rebounds, the 3rd most in the 4A conference, and had 55 blocks, the 4th most in the conference. He also registered 16 double-doubles for the season, and for good measure, recorded 41 assists and 27 steals. That got him a spot on the all-region first team. But he wasn't done there. He was also a force on the volleyball court, leading the Skyline region with 290 kills, while also recording 217 digs, 45 blocks, 49 ace serves, and 39 assists, which earned him the Region Player of the Year award and a spot on the All-4A Conference second team. Expect a big senior year from this big guy. Congratulations to the G-Force, Zane Gall, of the Prescott basketball and volleyball teams, the Tri-City Sports Roundup, number 9 local male athlete of the year. Before we go to break, we're going to squeeze in number 8. This guy had just one mission on the gridiron: to strike fear into the hearts of opposing offenses. And boy, was he successful at that. He notched 143 tackles on the season, the 3rd most in the 4A conference. He also deflected 5 passes and had 1.5 sacks to help his team go 7-4 and qualify for the state playoffs. With stats like that, you can bet the postseason honors rolled in. For the 2nd year in a row, he was named the Grand Canyon Region Defensive Player of the Year and earned a spot on the All-Conference First Team. His play attracted attention from quite a few colleges, including ASU, and that's who signed him. He even got his diploma early so he could head down to Tempe and start training with them. We are certainly looking forward to seeing him playing on Saturdays in the red and gold. Congratulations to James Giggy of the Bradshaw Mountain football team, the Tri-City Sports Roundup number 8 local male athlete of the year. And we're just getting started with our top 10 local male athletes of the year list. Who else makes the list? And who will be our number 1 local male athlete of the year? All that's coming up on the other side of this break. We'll be back with more here in the Tri-City Sports Roundup right after this. We are back here on the Tri-City Sports Roundup. John Rust with you here. Thank you very much for joining us here on our first day of August and our last summer top 10 list. It's the top 10 local male athletes of the year. Number 8 on our list was James Giggy from the Bradshaw Mountain football team. And we're going to talk a little bit more about James, as on the line with us right now, we have his coach, the legend himself, Bob Young from Bradshaw Mountain High School. Hey, Coach Young, good morning, and thank you very much for joining us here on the show.
You bet, anytime, John.
So, Coach, you've got a chance to look at James for the last few years. What an incredible career he has had for you and the Bears. What is it that makes James Giggy such an absolutely terrifying force on defense for you?
Well, it's that combination of size, speed, and strength that, football, that's that's ultimately what it's all about. When he was younger as a freshman and even a lot of his sophomore year, we had him at defensive end, and what we were finding out was that, people would just run the other way and negate him, and, we finally figured out, well, if we put him at middle linebacker, you can't run away from him. So, once we moved him there, he became a force.
Mm-hmm. And I think one of the other things that, and it probably doesn't get talked about too much with James because we always focus on his athletic accomplishments, but academically he has done very well. If I'm not mistaken, I think he actually graduated with a 4.0 from Bradshaw Mountain or right around there.
Actually, it was a 4.4. I mean, he took some advanced classes, and, and I think that's one of the things that, that sold ASU is that, not only this guy got the athletic ability, but he's serious in the classroom. And, he was just a model, student athlete. That's exactly, you try to preach to these young kids, this is what we want. And, he's a poster child for all that.
Yeah. And like you said, one of the reasons why ASU signed him, and very, very rarely do we see an athlete, a football player here go D1. I think the last couple were Aaron Green from Prescott going over to San Diego State, Brady Mengarelli playing at South Dakota State, and now here's James Giggy going to ASU. So I can only imagine how proud you, his family, and everyone over there at Bradshaw has to be about that accomplishment for James.
Yeah, for sure. And I believe that, he's the first Bradshaw Mountain football player to play at ASU. So, that's quite an accomplishment. And, it is hard, in the rural areas to, get kids down at ASU or U of A. And, we're just really proud and excited for James.
All right. Well, Coach Bob Young, Bradshaw Mountain football coach, I want to thank you very much for joining us here on the Tri-City Sports Roundup, telling everyone a little more about James Giggy, our Tri-City Sports Roundup number 8 local male athlete of the year. Coach, thank you very much for joining us, and hey, best of luck in the upcoming season, which starts in just a few weeks for you and the Bears.
Yep. Thanks, John.
All right, Bob Young, head coach, Bradshaw Mountain Football. Let's get back to our top 10 list. We're at number 7. This guy set the table better than a waiter at a 5-star restaurant. Opposing pitchers did not have much success keeping him off the base paths as he hit .402 from the leadoff spot with 9 home runs, 53 RBIs, the second most in the Cal-Pac Conference, 29 doubles, also the second most in the Cal-Pac, and was also second in the conference in slugging percentage at .755, on base percentage at .502, total bases with 154, and extra base hits with 46. He was also the conference leader in triples with 8, runs scored with 77, and stolen bases with 29. All that production not only helped him reach the NAIA World Series, it also got him named the Cal-Pac Player of the Year and earned him a spot on the NAIA All-American third team. He also got high marks in the classroom, which got him named to the All-Cal-Pac academic team, the College Sports Communicators Academic All-American first team, and the NAIA Scholar Athlete Team. He will definitely be remembered as one of the players who helped lay the foundation of this relatively new team. Congratulations to the Big Stick, Travis Strickler of the Embry-Riddle baseball team, the Tri-City Sports Roundup number 7 local male athlete of the year. Next, number 6. We go from a table setter to a power hitter. From day one till the end of the season, he hammered the heck out of opposing pitchers, so much so he won the Triple Crown in the Cal-Pac Conference with a .448 average, 16 home runs, and 94 RBIs, which was also the third most in the nation. He also led the conference with 32 doubles and .835 slugging percentage, 177 total bases, and 49 extra base hits, while scoring 60 runs and having the third best on-base percentage in the Cal-Pac at an even .500. No surprise, he made the Cal-Pac first team, and for his play at shortstop, was named the Conference Defensive Player of the Year. To top things off, he was selected to the NAIA All-American first team. He certainly raised the bar for all future sluggers who will suit up for this team. Congratulations to Drew Barrigan of the Embry-Riddle baseball team, the Tri-City Sports Roundup number 6 local male athlete of the year. And right now, let's go to the phones here. We're going to talk a little more about Travis Strickler and Drew Barrigan with their bench boss, head coach of the Embry-Riddle baseball team, and that is Jeff Fox. Hey, Coach Fox, good morning, and thanks for joining us.
Good morning, John. Thank you for having me.
So let's start off with Travis Strickler. He's our number 7 local male athlete of the year. And I don't know if you could find a more productive, a better leadoff hitter anywhere in the NAIA during the 2024 season than the Big Stick himself, Travis Strickler.
Yeah, TC had just an absolutely phenomenal year. You want to talk about a model of consistency. I think his numbers statistically were about the same for the 3 years that he played for us. So just an absolute, phenomenal human being, first and foremost, and obviously a tremendous competitor out there on the diamond, and the stats obviously showed it.
And like I said, Travis was the one who set the table for you, but it was Drew Barrigan. He was the one who just went absolutely nuts at the plate, driving in all those guys ahead of him. I mean, 94 RBIs for a college baseball player. That is just astounding. And also a Triple Crown winner on top of that.
Yeah, if you, when you walk onto a baseball field for a game and you know that, TC was going to score 2 runs a game and Drew was going to knock in 2 runs a game, and you're already up 2-0 basically when you walk onto a baseball field, that's a pretty comfortable feeling as a coaching staff and as a pitching staff. So, what more can you say about Drew? I mean, he was everything as advertised when he got here, and obviously he went through some struggles in terms of health-wise, things like that when he first got here, but once he was on the field healthy and ready to rock and roll, I mean, it was really fun to watch. And when you're given the title of the best shortstop in the entire country by the NEI as an All-American first teamer, that obviously speaks to who he was as a player on the field.
All right. Well, Coach Fox, I want to thank you very much for joining us here on the Tri-City Sports Roundup and letting the audience know a little bit more about our number 7 and number 6 local male athletes of the year, Travis Strickler and Drew Barrigan. Coach, always a pleasure to talk to you. You have yourself a good one.
Thanks. You too, John. Appreciate the time.
You got it. Coach Jeff Fox from the Embry-Riddle baseball team. Back to our top 10 list, we're at number 5. Whether it be on the pitch or on the track, this guy liked to run. And boy, did he run well. During the soccer season, he was part of a defense that posted 11 shutouts, which earned him a place on the All-Central Region second team. But it was during the track and field season where he really made a name for himself. After a stellar regular season, he wowed everyone at the Division IV state meet by finishing as the runner-up in the 800-meter run, then helping the 4x800 team win the state championship. But he wasn't done there. At the Open State meet, competing against athletes from all of Arizona's different divisions, he placed 8th in the 800-meter run. Now, he hopes to have just as much success running for Mesa Community College. Congratulations to Tony Hackey of the Chino Valley Soccer and Track and Field teams, the Tri-City Sports Roundup number 5 local male athlete of the year. On to number 4. We have another outstanding runner on this list. He led the way for his cross-country team, culminating in a 6th-place finish at the sectional meet. But it was with the track and field team that he scored his greatest success. After a terrific regular season, he lit it up at the Division IV state meet. He finished as the runner-up in the 1,600-meter run. Then he ran with the 4x800 relay team and helped them win the state championship. After a senior season like that, he was voted Chino Valley High School's Male Cougar of the Year. But he was not only an outstanding athlete, he was an outstanding student. So much so, he was a nominee for AIA Scholar Athlete of the Year. He's not done running yet, as in a few weeks, he begins his collegiate career with Grand Canyon University. Congratulations to Quentin Metz of the Chino Valley Cross Country and Track and Field teams, the Tri-City Sports Roundup, number 4 local male athlete of the year. Now we're at number 3. We're to begin with this guy's athletic accomplishments. How about on the football field where he did, well, everything? He went 25 for 43 passing with 320 yards and 4 touchdowns, rushed for 733 yards and 10 touchdowns, had 434 receiving yards and 6 touchdowns, while recording 51 tackles, 2 interceptions, and to cap it off, he returned a punt for a touchdown. That got him a spot on the All Grand Canyon Region First Team and an All 4A Conference honorable mention. But it was in basketball where he rose above all others. He averaged 31.4 points per game, which not only led everyone in the 4A conference, but put him at number 23 among all high school players in the nation in scoring. He also registered 157 rebounds, 124 assists, the most in the region, 76 steals, also the most in the region, and 10 blocks. So, what did all that get him? The overall Region Player of the Year and Region Offensive Player of the Year awards for the 2nd straight season. He was also named the 4A Conference Offensive Player of the Year and the overall Co-Conference Player of the Year. All I can say is, get ready for what will no doubt be an awesome senior season for this guy. Congratulations to Tenacious T, Uriah Tennett of the Prescott basketball and football teams, the Tri-City Sports Roundup number 3 local male athlete of the year. Now number 2. We talked about this guy before on our top 10 local grads at College of the Year list. In fact, he took the number 1 spot on that list. So let's revisit why he's the number 2 guy on this list. How about being ranked number 1 at 165 pounds in the nation for the vast majority of the season? And how about finishing as the runner-up in his weight class at the Cascade Collegiate Conference Championship Tournament? That qualified him for the NAIA National Tournament, where he sliced through the competition and finished as the national runner-up at 165 pounds, earning him All-American honors. He finished with a 30-6 records and achieved all of those accomplishments after coming back from a serious shoulder injury the season before, which got him voted the school's Comeback Male Athlete of the Year. This coming year, you can bet he'll do whatever it takes to stand at the top of the podium. Congratulations to Keller Rock of the Embry-Riddle Wrestling Team, the Tri-City Sports Roundup number 2 local male athlete of the year. Well, that leaves us with just one more. Number 1. Who gets the top spot on our list this year? Who is the Tri-City Sports Roundup number 1 local male athlete of the year? Well, not going to tell you right now. We're just going to extend the drama out a little bit more here. We got a commercial break to get to. On the other side of this break, we will reveal our number 1 local male athlete for 2023-2024. We'll be back right after this. We are back on the Tri-City Sports Roundup. John Rust with you here as we are just ready to wrap up our final summer top 10 list, top 10 local male athletes of the year. Before we get to number 1, I'm going to run down numbers 10 through 2. Number 10 was Mason Hunt, Bradshaw Mountain basketball and baseball. Number 9, Zane Gall, Prescott basketball and boys volleyball. Number 8, James Giggy, Bradshaw Mountain football. Number 7, Travis Strickler, Embry-Riddle baseball. Number 6, Drew Barrigan, also Embry-Riddle baseball. Number 5, Tony Hackey, Chino Valley soccer and track and field. Number 4, Quentin Metz, Chino Valley cross country and track and field. Number 3, Uriah Tennett of Prescott basketball and football. Number 2, Keller Rock of Embry-Riddle wrestling. And now, number 1. His season began in the fall with football, and he did rather well. He recorded 68 tackles, 2.5 sacks, 1 interception, and 1 fumble recovery. That landed him on the All-Grand Canyon Region's second team. Then came the winter sports season, where he turned into a super beast on the wrestling mat. He steamrolled just about every opponent he faced and continued his dominance in the postseason, where he was crowned the section champ at 175 pounds. Then came the state the state tournament, where he made it to the championship match and won it, concluding his senior season with a 50-2 overall record. Along with winning that state championship, he was named his school's Male Athlete of the Year. But he's not done wrestling yet, and we're not done watching him wrestle, as this coming season, he will be joining our number 2 local Male Athlete of the Year on the Embry-Riddle wrestling team. Congratulations to Wyatt Rewerts of the Prescott wrestling and football teams, the Tri-City Sports Roundup 2023-2024 number 1 local Male Athlete of the Year. And now we're going to go to the phones right now. We're going to talk a little bit more about Wyatt Rewerts as we have his head coach on the phone, and that is Sam Shapiro. Hey, Coach, good morning, and thank you for joining us.
Hey, good morning, John. How are you today?
I'm doing okay. So, Coach, Wyatt Rewerts, we named him our number 1 local Male Athlete of the Year. I guess kind of no surprise when you win a state championship in wrestling, it's almost like automatic. But what was it about Wyatt where he had such an amazing season that he was able to finish that 2023-2024 campaign at the top of the podium there at the state meet?
Winning a state championship is a real special thing, because it doesn't just happen over one season. It's years of dedication and hard work, and to really cap off his high school career at the pinnacle like that was real special for him, for our team, for his family. So just real thankful to be a part of his journey on that.
Mm-hmm. And going back to the state meet, just take us through all those matches you saw Wyatt at, getting to the state championship match. Just tell us your thoughts when you saw him keep advancing, and then ultimately winning that match.
Going into the tournament, me and the other, we knew he was going to win it. We knew it in our hearts. He really just turned it on at the end of the season, and at the state tournament, he just started building momentum. And the matches started getting tougher, and he started thriving as the pressure started to build, which was pretty special. I believe it was his semifinals match. He wrestled the kid from ALA, Gilbert, and the kid was real dangerous, big thrower, and they had a barn burner of a match. Wyatt was in control the whole time, but that was a very exciting match for us to watch. And when he punched his ticket to the finals, that was a big moment. We knew he had it in the bag already. The finals match was a kid he had wrestled. He beat him the previous season at the state tournament. The kid showed up, wrestled hard, and Wyatt just had an answer for everything that the kid brought to him. So it was just it was real fun to watch his progression through the tournament. And I mean, he just crushed it the whole way through. Very dominant performance.
And I think the best thing is not only is Wyatt going to get a chance to wrestle at college, but he gets to wrestle at college in his hometown, and he gets to do it for one of the top 20 teams in the NAIA, and of course that is Embry-Riddle. Like I said, he's joining another local wrestling stud there in Keller Rock.
Exactly. Yeah, we're real excited for him. I think Wyatt's going to fit in very well with the Embry-Riddle program. They're finding a lot of success. I know the team culture is changing there, with Keller Rock leading the way. They've got a lot of young, up-and-coming wrestlers that are really getting after it. And Wyatt is right in the weights where he's got some real tough training partners, which is going to be great for him and his progression as a wrestler.
Mm-hmm. And, well, along with his accomplishments as a wrestler, some people may overlook what he did on the football field. Because, as I said at the start of my read-through of Wyatt, he was a great contributor for Coach Cody Collette and the football team. 68 tackles, 2.5 sacks, all-region second team. And I know, Coach, you have quite a few two-sport athletes on your team. So just talk about how important it is to have these guys involved in more than just one sport.
Yeah, Exactly. I think all kids should play multiple sports. You get more coaches, get their eyes on you, and get to help develop you. It's just more chance for competition, and that competition, that year-round competition, when you're playing different sports and you have different roles, it really just elevates your game. That when you're constantly competing, you're constantly improving, and Wyatt, as a football player, I believe it was his sophomore year, he started playing nose tackle. I think he was the only sophomore to start. He was undersized to be playing that position, but he's got that dog in him, and I think it really helped boost his athleticism to be in there battling with those bigger guys. And it's the same thing on the football field. He just kept progressing. He puts in his time, puts in the work, and just guy was the limit for him.
Yeah. All right. Well, Sam Shapiro, head coach of the Prescott wrestling team, want to thank you very much for joining us here on the Tri-City Sports Roundup, telling everyone a little bit more about Wyatt Rewerts, our Tri-City Sports Roundup #1 local male athlete of the year for 2023-2024. Coach, pleasure talking to you. Hey, you have yourself a good day.
Thank you. You too, John.
All right. And well, folks, here it is, another summer of top 10 lists in the books. By the way, getting back to the whole multi-sport athletes, when I go through this year's list of top 10 local male athletes of the year, with the exception of the college athletes I had on here, Keller Rock and Travis Strickler and Drew Barrigan, all the high school athletes on here, they were all multi-sport athletes. I didn't mention this with James Giggy, but he was also on the Bradshaw Mountain boys basketball team. And he only played a few games with them this past season because, after December, he got his diploma early and then headed down to Tempe to start working out with the ASU football team. Excuse me. But again, like I said, Mason Hunt, basketball and baseball. Zane Gall, basketball and boys volleyball. By the way, Gall is also a member of the Prescott boys golf team, and I imagine we're going to hear a lot more from him on the course this year. James Giggy, like I said, football and basketball. Tony Hackey, soccer and track and field. Quentin Metz, cross country and track and field. Uriah Tannett, football and basketball. Wyatt Rewerts, wrestling and football. And I do like what Coach Shapiro said there, where if you're a multi-sport athlete, you will have more coaches having their eyes on you, especially if you're really good in multiple sports, because that'll just open up a lot more opportunities for you when you're looking at college. In fact, I remember Brady Mengarelli from a few years back went on to play football at South Dakota State, but honestly, at the time, I thought he was going to get a scholarship for baseball because he was just as good a baseball player as he was a football player. And again, you got how many college baseball teams were looking at Brady to try to get him on the roster. So again, just opens up the opportunity for you. And also, I just think from a mental standpoint, when you're a multi-sport athlete, you're not going to burn yourself out both mentally and physically on, say, your primary sport. And I've seen that quite a bit, where someone just focuses on baseball or softball or volleyball or soccer, and by the time they get to their senior year in high school, you think, oh, this person's a really great athlete, they're going to go on and play at college. Then all of a sudden they hit a wall and go, you know what? I'm just burned out with this sport. I just don't feel like playing this sport anymore. Again, you just need a break from all that. And again, I think especially nowadays in baseball, especially if you're a pitcher, because now you look at MLB. How many pitchers are on the disabled list this year? I think it's probably well over 100. I mean, guys who have only been in the bigs 2 or 3 years coming down with serious arm problems. And a lot of people say that's going back to their youth, when all they do from, like, say, early middle school all through college is pitch, throw hard, because that's the only thing that matters in baseball these days. And you got to figure by the time they get up to the majors, all that work on their arm, well, it's going to put a strain on them, and now they're going to be on the DL for an extended period. So again, once again, for the, I think, 200,000th time, here's me advocating for multi-sport athletes. Folks, just a few more minutes to go here on the show, and like I said at the start, fall sports season, it is here. Players are practicing. the athletes at Embry-Riddle and Yavapai, they're getting back to campus, and hard to believe, a few weeks from now, we will have our first Prescott football game of the season. That's going to be a home game. We're going to be playing La Jolla Community on August 30th. So tune in to everything we have here on KYCA, the radio side, online, live streaming. We'll have play-by-play for that game and all the other games going on this year, including back-to-back Thursday night games this year. That's going to be coming up in October. I believe on the 16th, we will have a game at up in Flagstaff. That's going to be at the NAU Sky Dome. And then the next Thursday, well, we're going to be over in Prescott Valley because the rivalry game will be on a Thursday night in October between Prescott and Bradshaw Mountain. And once again, this has been a problem that we've had here, well, not just in Arizona, but just all over the country, shortage of officials. So obviously a lot of athletic directors and coaches, they're trying to encourage more and more people to come out and start work as high school game officials. And at least the one good thing is for this year, they were able to kind of plan in advance to have those Thursday night games take place, because I know the last couple years we've had a couple of times games on the schedule for Friday, and then a week before you get a call from the AD like, yeah, about that Friday game. We don't have enough referees for that night, so we're going to have to do it on a Thursday if that's okay with you. So at least now we got some advanced warning and can prepare for it. But again, 2 Thursday night games in October at Flagstaff, at Bradshaw Mountain. Opening day for Prescott football. First broadcast of Prescott High School football will be on August 30th at La Jolla Community. And thankfully this year, not a whole lot of travel for us. I think we only have about 2 games in North Phoenix this year. Got the game up in Flagstaff. We got what I would call half a road trip up to Cottonwood to play Mingus, and Bradshaw Mountain. I don't even consider that a road trip. I mean, come on. So that's what we got going on. Also, want to send out big congratulations to Kenzie Sanders, former Chino Valley High School softball player. She helped her youth team win gold at a tournament in Australia, and right after that, she got a full-ride scholarship to play at Vernon College in Texas. So congratulations for her. All right, folks, we're just about ready to wrap things up here on the Tri-City Sports Roundup, but we got our whole slate of Saturday morning talk coming up. Right after this show here, 9 o'clock, we've got Healthline with Dr. David Hancock. Then coming up at 10, we've got Drive Time AZ for you. And at 11, we've got our brand new show, Eye on Prescott. So just local talk all throughout the morning here on KYCA. And, of course, we will be back with you next week. And, with the fall sports starting, we're going to start having coaches and athletes come into the studio. So we're going to find out everything going on with their chosen sports, with their teams. So get ready, folks. Fall sports is here, and KYCA will be covering everything fall sports-wise throughout the area. All right, folks, that is going to do it for this edition of the Tri-City Sports Roundup. Thank you very much for joining us here, and we will see you again next week here on the show. Stay tuned for Healthline with Dr. Hancock. Meanwhile, see you next week. Have yourselves a good one.